from Timcast.com. Gays Against Groomers official resigns following DeSantis ad slamming Trump's previous LGBTQ support. I stated this very clearly. I think Ron DeSantis does deserve credit on going after the weird grooming stuff and targeting of kids. And to a great degree, that criticism of Donald Trump is to a certain degree fair. I do think it is unfair to categorize Donald Trump's support of your average LGBT person as the same as what Ron DeSantis is fighting, which is groomers. So there's a point to be made there. But ultimately, there was backlash. Ron DeSantis ended up getting flack from log cabin Republicans. We now have David Leatherwood announcing his resignation from Gays Against Groomers because of the ardent support the organization's leader has for DeSantis. This has been not good for DeSantis. The DeSantis campaign has been very divisive on many of these issues. And ultimately, my point is DeSantis then goes on Tommy Loren's show, doubles down on all of this. And the result is increased backlash. Ron could have come out, clarified and said, maybe we're a little strong. You know, I don't want to conflate groomers with LGBT American citizens who want to live their lives. Instead, he goes, no, it's totally fair for me to do this. Trump did this. It seems like he's not getting good advice, that people aren't explaining to him like, hey, you have a large coalition of people who are LGBT who support Donald Trump and will support you because they may be gay, but they don't like the groomers. Don't ostracize the people who do like you. But Ron goes for it anyway. And it results in stories like this. I think he's listening to sycophants and it's hurting him. And it's tangible. You see it in the polls.
Yeah.
So what can we expect? We expect him not to win the primary?
Do you think that because Ron is looking to attack Trump from the right, do you think that the LGBT issues are going to be something that he's not going to be able to get a broad message that his campaign and his base will accept? Because I feel like whoever is going to be the Republican nominee needs to at least tolerate LGBT people, like gay people and probably trans people to some degree. Obviously, it needs to be prevented from being, instructed to kids and needs to be taken out of school curriculum. And you don't want to have
the grooming stuff.
Yeah, the grooming stuff. So it's the political stuff. But do you think that DeSantis is going to be able to lock that kind of stuff down without alienating LGBT or gay people?
I think that's pretty easy to
no, it's not that it's hard, but will he be able to?
If he's attacking successfully from the right. Do it?
Yeah, if he's coming from the right,
If Ron DeSantis is adamant on attacking Trump from the right, he'll lose. That's just it. And I think that's largely what it is. We were talking about this downstairs. We were hanging out, Seamus, Destiny, John Doyle after the show, and we were talking quite a bit about it. And I'm like, what we're seeing here with the Trump versus DeSantis is DeSantis really does represent the old guard Republicans who are angry that Trump stormed into their party and took over, and they see an opportunity with DeSantis to win it back. Unfortunately, it would seem that to a great degree, many of them lack the tact to pull it off.
Yeah.
So the zealotry, the anger, the I can do no wrong attitude is exactly how you end up losing this internal conflict.
Yeah, when you're working against Donald Trump, if you want to defeat Donald Trump in an election, think of him as a non-Newtonian fluid. If you're familiar with these, it's like cornstarch and water.
Great analogy.
The harder you hit it, the more solid it is. If you go slowly, you use heat, you can push through it like a liquid.
That is a hard 20, Ian. You rolled a 20 right.
That's amazing.
I see it exactly this way. The response from the DeSantis campaign has been full force as hard as possible, and they're hitting a brick wall. But if they went slowly, they'd slip right through. If their response to a lot of these campaigns was a lot of these issues was just pure authenticity, directly assessing the issue, talking to people about their concerns and clarifying issues, DeSantis would be defeating Trump in a prediction market.
One way I think that he could, in one second, is that, Phil, to answer your question, can he pull it off? Can he get the support of the LGBTQ plus community? Yes, if he reminds people, straight people can be groomers too. I'm here to prevent grooming of children. I don't care who you are, what your sexuality is, where you came from, what colors you love. I don't care. Don't groom these kids in my schools. That's, I think, the message, because you gotta push against the straight people too that are grooming. And
how look.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Perhaps the issue is DeSantis believes he's in it for the primary, and that's all that matters, which means screw the moderates. What he's ignoring is that. And maybe they're trying to recapture neocons into the Democratic Party, I suppose. I can't imagine how that would make sense because a lot of these Lincoln Project people have just embraced leftist values. Donald Trump brought moderates into the Republican Party. Vox.com called Trump a moderate. So, of course, Trump came out in support of LGBTQ Americans, said gay marriage was a settled issue. And that was like a year after gay marriage passed, like right around this time. So Trump absolutely attacked the Republican Party from the left in a lot of ways, and it worked. He brought in many people who typically wouldn't vote Republican, who did. With the help of individuals like Scott Pressler, the Republican Party was able to bring on more registered voters than the Democrats in some states for the first time ever. The idea that you're going to go back to how the Republican Party was before and attack Trump from the right is a huge mistake. What I was saying about DeSantis a year ago, the opportunity he had was to be nice Trump, to talk about the same policies in the same way, but be tactful, youthful, and energetic. Instead, it seems like he's taking the harder right approach, which I just see as not viable.
Yeah, I think most people,
maybe I'll be wrong.
Most people see him as like doing a fantastic job in Florida. Of course, a lot of people praise him for that. He did a fantastic job. However, this so far from what we've seen him interacting with the public and everything like that, I think he's surrounding himself with maybe not the best people. I'm not going to totally generalize because I'm sure he's around some great people, but yeah, just not the best team. And then also the campaign, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems like a glorified version of low energy Jeb.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like nothing about it's exciting. Nothing about it.
I don't like that. You know, a lot of people keep trying to pull the Jeb card on DeSantis. I disagree.
He's way better. Don't get me wrong.
But it's just the campaign is more rabid than that.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to use Trumpian tactics, but he's not Trump, and he doesn't get that he's not Trump.
Yeah, and he can't quite pull it off.
Right. Yeah. And the opportunity was to not be the aggressive Trump, but to have Trump's policies.
Now he's the mean Trump.
And now he's like just attacking Trump. And look, it's not so much the campaign, but to a certain degree, people associated with the campaign. But for the most part, it's his base, whatever he's cultivated for whatever reason, are sycophants. He does something wrong. What do? So what? And I'm like, well, that's not what I'm not interested in.
My
that.
personal
and
feelings.
to be fair, Trump is very, very similar in that regard. It doesn't work
100%.
for me.
My personal feelings to win an election is you make your opponents irrelevant. They're not the focus of your campaign. If you're talking about them, you're giving them free publicity. Right. This is what Hillary did to Trump in 2016. She kept talking about Donald Trump and how horrible he was and kept giving him fuel. And now DeSantis is doing the same thing.
Perhaps that's the goal. The DeSantis supporters want these stories to exist so that his name gets mentioned more, I suppose. I'll show you this. Over at the predicted market, Vivek Ramaswamy, take a look at this. Entered the contract June 28th from 3 cents. Now he's currently at 8. Vivek is now in third place in the prediction markets for the Republican presidential nomination. He bypassed everybody. That's impressive. Tim Scott even. This guy's not a politician, and he's a young guy.
Yeah, as soon as people hear him speak, just even for 10 seconds, oh, who's that guy? I like that. You know, they love listening to him. So I think just the more people hear his name, hear him speak, everything like that, that number is going to continue to skyrocket. What he's saying is really resonating with the American people.
Yeah,
for sure.
His message, and regardless of what actually happens for where he lands in regards to actually running or whatever, just him being a part of the conversation and the topics that he brings up, which make the other people that are running at least be marginally informed, which is one of the things that I want a lot more out of Trump. I want Trump to understand the policies that he's talking about, because I feel like a lot of the policies are written by other people and he just kind of is the guy selling them. And so I think that it's really, really good that Vivek is a third and is going to be on the stages.
He's really concerned with getting money out of like BlackRock and putting it into indexes that don't invest in woke stuff or don't invest in ESG particularly.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know if there's going to be stages.
Oh, you don't think they'll do?
Why would Donald Trump debate Ron DeSantis?
Clicks, baby.
It used to be that you wanted a large platform to spread your message. We got it. Social media, don't need it.
Yeah, I agree, man. 2006, I agreed with you. That old age of debate on a stage with the point, hold on, like the moderator doesn't do anything anyway. That's done. It ended in 2006 with internet video. Now,
man, Trump in 2015 was something special.
Yeah,
15, 16, those debates were something special.
It was amazing.
No,
absolutely amazing.
CNN.
Vivek would probably do pretty well in something like that. But still, I mean, like you said,
So Trump will
not.
call him Ramaswamy. I did not come up with that song. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm not giving credit for the person who came up with that. But, to be honest, he
bad.
keeps calling Ron DeSantis DeSanctus, and it's the stupidest nickname ever.
DeSanctimonia, Ron
He calls him DeSanctus now.
DeSanctus? Well, the reason I say
so dumb.
What does that mean?
It's not.
Things changed
not working.
like drastically in 2006, and I was speaking internet video. I was making YouTube videos about it. Like now we have the technology for world leaders to communicate without Secret Service present through Skype. They can talk directly to their constituents without Secret Service present from their bedroom any time of the day. And CNN was like, oh, hell yeah, let's do the YouTube CNN debates this time. So in 2008, CNN got their fingers into it, and they had very carefully curated videos from YouTubers that they would give to the people campaigning Obama, Hillary Clinton. And I asked one about the Federal Reserve they didn't use because they were carefully, it was CNN, curating it. But you could see that CNN was on their heels. They didn't know how to respond to this new political populist uprising and new technology, and they still don't. If they think that, they didn't even have debates for the last election. They didn't even debate. Mm-hmm. They didn't even debate. What, the first time in American history that Biden did even debate once? I don't.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't do
The Democrats?
Yeah,
They debates.
They did. Yeah.
But the Republican,
debated.
Democrat,
Did he?
they wanted
debate?
more. What they did too.
They had
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, there was one. I remember
one.
being super surprised about Biden being as on as he was, and I was almost like in disbelief because he
Oh,
was.
yeah, there was. Okay.
But
it's
like,
I thought he was sleeping.
To think that 3 debates is enough is like such an antiquated mentality. They should be every week. If there's 2 front-running candidates, they should be for the betterment of people, of all of us, of humanity.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.